Today on GardenFork, learn how to make a really cool retro hanging lamp. Stay tuned. Hey, real quick, this video is sponsored by eBay. More information about that in the show notes below. Hey everyone, welcome to GardenFork. Today, how to make your own antique hanging lamp. Cool, huh? These are also called pendant lamps, by the way. My wife and I were looking through some online websites and catalogs for kind of an antique-ish retro hanging lamp for our bathroom. And we found one that we liked, and then I looked at the price and I was like, whoa. And I said to my wife, I can make this for you with parts that I buy. And she said, well, go ahead. I looked around and there were some lamp supply websites and I was kind of underwhelmed by them. And then I thought, well, let's just look on eBay and see what they have. And to tell you the truth, I was surprised. There are eBay stores on eBay, ebay.com. And I bought everything I needed from two different suppliers. I'll link to those eBay stores down here along with a list of all the parts we bought. So going through the different lamp suppliers, we decided what we wanted our lamp to look like. We went for a metal canopy shade here, really nice, white on the inside. And then we chose a nickel-plated light socket, really nice. You can get them with or without the switch. I liked how the switch looked, so I got it. To connect your shade to your light socket, you're going to want what's called a shade fitter. And this comes in the same nickel style as this is. And this goes on here. Well, I'll show you how when we build the thing. But you need these three pieces for the bottom part of your lamp. For some wire, I opted for a kind of pseudo antique wire. This looks like cloth wrapped wire. I believe it's Rayon, actually. For your canopy, in other words, where your light is going to connect to an electrical box in the ceiling, choose an appropriate color. We got the black, the kind of brushed black. First thing we're going to do to wire this is we're going to disassemble our strain relief, okay? And then take our wire, push it through the strain relief, like that. I've forgotten to do this many times. And then fit this part of the strain relief over this. Now I'm going to strip these two wires. Get some nice wire strippers. Don't cheap out on your strippers, okay? And I'd say about 3/8 of an inch. Just go like that. Give it a pull. You're going to have to remove some of the cloth, just pull that back. So then take those two wires and twist them clockwise. Next, we're going to take off the back of the socket that comes off in two pieces. And we're going to put that, pay attention to how it came apart, and put our two wires through there. Learn from my mistakes. I've done this many times and had to redo it. So you've got strain relief, the locking ring, and the back of the socket. So important thing here, we want to trace one wire all the way through to the other side so we know which wire here is which wire here. This will make a difference when we're wiring the ceiling. So what I've done is I've gone with my finger through the whole roll, and this one with the tape is this one with the tape. This will make a difference later, okay? Our light socket comes out like this. There are two screws, kind of a brass colored one and a silver one. We want to loosen the silver one here and then take the wire with the piece of tape on it and wrap it clockwise around that screw. So we wrapped it this way. And then we're going to take our screwdriver and tighten that down. Wire with the piece of tape clockwise around the silver screw. Then we're going to do a similar thing with the unmarked wire. I'm going to loosen the brass screw, and then I'm going to wrap that wire around here as well. You can put a little bend in the wire, put it in there, a little bit of fingernail work, drop that in. Righty-tighty, remember, left is loose, right is tight. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, okay? Okay, now we're going to take the socket shell, slide that over like that, and then we're going to take the bottom of the socket, and this has a little tang here. It goes right into there, like that. And then we're going to slide the locking ring here on like that. And just get that started. Always works better on other people's shows. And tighten that down, okay? Now we're going to attach the strain relief. Sometimes there is a set screw on the bottom of your socket, and you want to loosen that. And then I take the interior of the strain relief, and I have to be careful not to pull on the wires that are in the socket, and work that down. And then this has threads on it, which thread into the bottom of the socket. So then we'll take the decorative part of the strain relief, and that slides over the black plastic part like that. For extra safety, you can now screw in that screw, and that is now wired. Cool, huh? Looks really nice. Sometimes this wire gets untwisted and you want it to look twisted. It looks nice that way. I just undo the strain relief and I twist it a little bit. Goes back the way it's supposed to. The top of your light socket here has threads on it, and that is how we're going to attach what's called the fitter. This allows us to attach the socket to the shade. So this has threads on it and this has threads on it. So this goes in here and we just tighten it down. Cool, huh? Now it's time to fit this onto our lamp, not lamp, shade, sorry. And it literally drops on, and then we tighten these side screws, snug, not super tight, especially if it's glass shade. And there you go. Your retro antique pendant or hanging lamp. Isn't that cool? You can totally do this. Let me show you now how to tie this into the ceiling, okay? So we have our upper strain relief here and the other end of our wire. We want to disassemble our strain relief and slip these two wires through both pieces of the strain relief, trying not to untwist them so they keep their character. Now we take our wire that has the strain relief and we put it through our canopy cover. So that comes through like this. And then we put the lock washer on that came in your kit, your canopy kit, and then the set screw. Figure out which of the screw holes on your mounting bracket line up with the holes in your canopy here. I usually just slide this thing over and eyeball it and go, oh. Then when you figure out which holes those are, take your long or short screws and thread them in. This is going to seem kind of counterintuitive, but you want them to go through and all the way out the other side, okay? All right, make sure the power's turned off in your electrical box in the ceiling, and then this bracket is going to mount across like this. All right, next, the wires that are coming through our canopy like this are going to go into our box. We're going to thread them through that center hole and bring them up. The wire that has the tape on it is going to be connected to the white wire in the box. You take those wires and twist them together, and then use one of the provided wire nuts and screw in a clockwise direction and tighten that down. You are making an electrical connection, so you want that to be good, okay? Connect the other wire to the black wire in the same way. So take these two wires, tuck them under here, make sure there's no bare wire showing, and then move the canopy over the outlet box, and then you've got these really tiny acorn nuts that go on. And then tighten up the strain relief here. This is really nice. It looks exactly like some of the things I saw in the fancy catalogs. You can make this, just pay attention to the wiring, make sure the power's off. I've just powered this on, so let's see what happens, okay? It's a moment of truth. There's a roll of dice here. Maybe a little bit dimmer bulb. Consider an LED for this. Low energy costs. But I love that. That's great. All right. Thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button right there. More DIY and cooking and gardening stuff on GardenFork. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below here. Love to hear from you guys. So go out and do cool stuff like this and then let me know about it. All right? See ya.